Hello, art students. Today we're going to be working on emphasis with drawing animal eyes. You will need one piece of paper, a pencil, and some type of coloring tools. When I pick what I want to draw, I want to make sure it has a lot of emphasis. So here is a goat's eye that I'm going to be drawing. The goat's fur is a gray, dark, black areas, and the eye is a bright brownish yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and take my paper and fold it into 4 sections. This way it can make crosshairs in the paper that I can also put on my reference image. So that way I will be able to know where to draw on my paper. Now that I have the crosshairs on my image and my paper, I'm going to go ahead and get started with drawing. I notice where the eye is placed on the crosshairs. There's just a small amount peeking out the bottom right corner, a kind of a bigger spot on the top. And I notice where the lid is and how it curves up and over. Once I take a larger look at this, I kind of notice it needs some adjustment on that top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and erase it and readjust it. This grid technique with the crosshairs really helps me with drawing those detailed spots that you just want to get perfect. Now that I have enough drawn out, I'm going to switch to my coloring tools. I'm going to start with my black and go ahead and start outlining the eye, really focusing on those areas where it goes from a dark to light. So on the bottom lid, I have some value where right where the light hits the eyelid, it gets a lot lighter. So I'm going to try to include that as well. Throughout this entire drawing, I really want you to focus on the value. Every part of a realistic drawing is going to have plenty of value in it. Once I get most of the black completed on my eye, I'm going to switch to the color. So with the eye, I notice how much value it is in there. The bottom part has a bright yellow or light brown in there, and I really want to make sure I add value to that part of the eye. So with my drawing, I noticed the color pencils weren't quite doing the trick with getting those bright colors on there, so I went to a different coloring tool. I pulled out my oil pastels. My black tends to be a lot darker with these, and so do my colors. Now that I'm finished with the eye, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the background. This is going to take me a long time. This is a big step. I'm trying to add texture over the entire part of the paper. This I found to be the most time consuming because every stroke I want it to look like a hair on my goat. Again, do not forget about value even when it comes to the background. That is very, very important to make it look like it is a real animal and not just the eyeball surrounded by some fur. So I'm getting pretty close to being done. I'm just going to do a few finishing touches on the texture of the fur off camera and I'll be back with the final result. I hope you enjoyed drawing your animal eye. Hopefully it turned out wonderful. If not, maybe ask the question of, does it have enough emphasis? And is the emphasis created by value or not? I look forward to seeing your guys' artwork and I will see you next week.